Today is actually our day off and we came down to the Melange kitchen to do a family recipe because my auntie Mamo just came back from Oahu and she had this one local dish there, the pasteles, however you want to call it. And she didn't quite like it and she made a comment to me. She's like, Brian, you should make pateles because yours is good. It's like, oh yeah, okay. And I learned how to make pateles from my mom. I don't know where she learned it from, but her brother back home in the Big Island, my uncle Mike, he's like the patele master. He's been doing that ever since I was a small kid, and they actually use the mountain meat, which is the wild boar that he's been catching for years, and chop them up and put them in the patele and then put them up for sale. And he's got some amazing pateles too, and some smoked meat. But anyway, that's a whole nother video. Back to the pateles. So basically what you're gonna need like super green bananas, like the greenest. Any sign of yellow in there is kind of like, nah, not so good. You don't want to do it with any kind of yellow banana. So it's all green. And I've seen people in Peru make this. I also seen people in Ecuador make this dish, and theirs is just as good, except I don't like the boiled egg that they put in it. It's not a big egg eater. Anyway, you need the green bananas, and we're gonna do ours with the green jackfruit for a meat, and then it's filled with the Puerto Rican vegetables that always go with everything, like Portuguese bean soup and everything that's made with that is always with the same vegetables. I'm going to show you that later. Also, another thing that you really important for this dish is the achiote, which is the annatto, which grows all over South America in Hawaii. You need the annatto or the achiote. If you don't have that, don't even make this dish. Don't even attempt it, because this is what pulls everything together. And I'm gonna show you that later on. So we're gonna get these green bananas. We're gonna get them peeled and then grated. So if you wanna see how I do it, let's get going. So this is my green bananas, like I said, and so I'm gonna show you how I cut it. And I know everybody's got their different system. This is just how we do it because we found this works the fastest and the easiest. And the thing with working with the green bananas is it's got so much sap and slime on this thing that when you go to peel it, it'll actually turn your hands black. So by doing this procedure, is like what I do is I cut the banana up here, just at the top of the stem, and then I take the bottom off, like so. And the reason is so the hot water can get in here. And what I normally do is I also score the banana peel. Like so, you can see the score marks on there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just blanch it in boiling hot water. So next I just put the cut bananas into the sink and I'm going to add the hot water to this. Just like that. And we just let them swim around for a little bit, and they're going to start, the skin is going to start to change color, and then the peel is going to start coming away from the banana, and that's when you know it's ready to peel. And here you can see that the banana's already changed color, so it's time to go. I'm just going to drain it, and then we're going to peel it. So what I'm going to do next now is I'm going to take the pods and then cook it in oil and use that oil to season and to also create a non-stick environment for the pateles while we wrap it. And how we do that is just basically put this in some oil and cook it on the stove until it almost starts to pop, and I'll show you. By the time you get it to this point, it's so red that the entire room is smelling like achiote. And it should start popping pretty soon now. There you go. Did you hear it? That's the sign. It's done. I'm going to try to wait for one more. So I can hear it popping, and I'm going to take it off the fire right at this point, because if you keep it on, it's going to burn and you're going to end up throwing all of this away, which is no bueno. So I'm going to show you the pour out or the strain. So I just get a strainer and a container. And the smell is amazing. So they all change color. It went from red to dark maroon. And then you're gonna let all that strain out, and that's all the oil that you're gonna use for your flavor. That's where all your flavor is, right there. That's what makes the entire dish, is the achiote oil. So normally we use green bell peppers, and I wasn't gonna run back to the store, so I'm just using red. So we normally use green bell peppers, white onions, celery, cilantro, and garlic. And this is the kind of jackfruit that I'm using, the young jackfruit, and this is what it looks like. This is the green jackfruit. It comes out of the can. I'm just going to drain it, and then I'm going to put it in a mixing bowl to shred it. And then just going to put it on low for a while. I'm just going to shred it, and it's going to turn into like a shredded meat substance. And as for the veggies, everything is cut super fine. You can cut it by hand, or you can use the Cuisinart, either way, but it's got to be super fine. So right now in my pot I got the garlic and the onions. Next goes into cilantro. Next goes the celery. Next goes the bell peppers. Again, I would use green bell peppers. So we're just going to add some oil to this. Then we're going to add our achiote powder. Just get it on there. Get it in there. To that, we're going to add some oregano. To this, we're going to add salt. And that's basically all the seasons you're gonna need. So this is the banana mash, or the masa that we have. It's pretty tight. And to this, we're just gonna add some gluten-free tamari for the gluten-free people. So we're just gonna add this for flavor. And then we're gonna add some water to thin it down. And this is the tricky part, where you just kind of got to go by feel. And I couldn't even give you a measure. But you got to add water to the banana, or it's just going to be like way too starchy and way too hard. And then just kind of mix it in. We need to put some of this oil into the masa for the extra flavor. About so, and then mix it in. Forgot about that, but I'm glad I remembered. That's why you need a lot of oil when you do this mix or do this recipe. This is what it looks like when it's all cooked down and the jackfruit is incorporated. I just added the jackfruit to the mix once it was cooked down and call it golden. Now I basically packed it all together in a pot. We're gonna just add some water to this and put it on the stove, and then we're going to cook it for 45 minutes. I normally put a couple ceramic plates on the top just to keep them from floating up, to keep everybody submerged. This is the finished product, and we just steamed it up for 30 minutes, and you just basically peel it open. And then straight onto the plate. And that's what it looks like. Tasty pateles. So let me explain this method. The reason why we use the foil and the parchment paper is because traditionally it's usually the outside wrapping is tea leaf, which you're not going to get here in Medford, Oregon, and the inside wrapper would be a banana leaf. And so when you're using the tea leaf and the banana leaf and you're wrapping this masa in together, you're also getting the essence from the banana leaf and the tea leaf, and it becomes even way more amazing. We just go with the parchment paper and the foil and go with that. So this is what it looks like. And now I'm going to kill it. So again, this is what it looks like, and how I normally eat it is with a little bit of stripe of soy sauce and a little bit of red Tabasco. You can't make it spicy, but not everybody in my family likes it spicy, so I leave the pica or the heat out, and you can see the consistency now is a little bit firmer. It's a whole different animal from where it was with just a plain masa, and the deliciousness is just amazing. It is just my phone died out.
Make the eyes like Mark Wings.
It's just so delicious. Super nutritious. Time consuming, but so good. And if you ever have the time and want to try it, give it a try. Super delicious. Anyway, thanks for watching. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Let's thank my auntie and Sky for coming down. Thank you, Auntie Mamo, for coming down. I hope you had fun, and
I did.
thank you, Sky Mana, for coming down and for helping. Thank my wife Gia for just eating.
I just was the cheerleader part.